Yo guys, before I start this video, let me know, what do you guys think of the intro? Do you hate it? Do you like it? Do you love it? If you hate it, is it too long? Because I feel like it's too long. If it's too long, let me know. If you hate it and you want me to stop using it, I'll stop using it. If you like it, just let me know. Just let me know. I really want to know your guys' opinions. Anyway, on to the video. You guys heard? Deontay Wilder, he wants to give Tony Bellew, the retired Tony Bellew, an ass whooping. Because, I heard him on the Boxing Voice the other day, and I'm going to be quoting what he said. He said, Tony Bellew a bitch. He was scared during that time, and he's scared now. I'll still go down in weight. I can still lose weight. Sometimes it's about principle. This is a principle ass whooping right here. This is just because if Bellew ever wants this, if he ever wants this work, let me know. I'll get down, or he can come up, whatever you comfortable with. Because they asked him about, because, like maybe 2 weeks ago, Tony Bellew came out and said that Deontay Wilder was the worst technical heavyweight champion of all time, right? Because when it comes to Wilder, right, he's always been, not the best technical fighter, right? Am I going to agree with Tony Bellew and say that he's the worst technical boxer of all time? Maybe not. I wouldn't take it that far. But I understand why Tony Bellew called Deontay Wilder like the most untechnical champion at heavyweight. Because Wilder tends to not be, he's not a traditional boxer, right? He doesn't set his punches up really well. When he hurts a guy, he goes for broke, and he throws these really crazy looping shots. A lot of people call them windmilly shots. You see what happens when he hurts a guy. He throws punches from like 16 blocks away. I mean, and they're looping shots, and they're very windmilly shots. It looks like, you ever played the game Sonic, on Sega Genesis? You ever played the Sonic games, and when Sonic is like charging up to go, to go on like those circle things where he goes on the you know what I'm talking about, when he's charging up and you look at his feet and they do like circles like that. That's kind of how Deontay Wilder looks when he's going for broke against opponents, right? He just starts windmilling like crazy. And of course, Deontay Wilder heard about this and he didn't like it. He didn't like that Tony Bellew called him the most untechnical fighter of all time, or champion. And he said, hey man, he'll fight him. He'll say that he'll fight him in a catchweight. He said he'll fight Tony Bellew on a catchweight. Because obviously Tony Bellew is a guy who turned pro at light heavyweight, 175, and then he moved up to heavy cruiserweight. He became a champion there, and then he eventually moved up to heavyweight to fight. He only had two fights at heavyweight against David Haye. I don't know why he would say he'll fight him in a catchweight, because Tony Bellew has fought at heavyweight. He fought David Haye twice. But Tony Bellew's retired. Tony Bellew retired after he lost to Alexander Usyk when he got destroyed against Usyk. So I don't think he would come back to fight him. I personally would pick Deontay Wilder to utterly destroy Tony Bellew. I remember like maybe 15 months ago or something, Tony Bellew came out and he was saying like he wanted to fight, because they were like having this back and forth trash talk, and they were like, and I remember Deontay Wilder wanted to face Tony Bellew back then, but Tony Bellew said that I reported this a long time ago. He said that because he met Deontay Wilder twice. No, he met him in the Joshua fight when Joshua fought Vladimir Klitschko. Joshua went over to the UK, and that's when he had that confrontation with Deontay Wilder. They met each other in like where the media was, and that's when like his brother Marcellus Wilder was there, and he was like talking shit. You remember that? You remember when Wilder went over to the UK and IFL TV recorded Deontay Wilder and Tony Bellew confronting each other, and you saw Marcellus Wallace or Wilder in the background, basically trying to instigate everything, and he was like back there and everything. And then when they fought, when Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko fought, after the fight, they interviewed both Deontay Wilder. Sky Sports interviewed both Deontay Wilder and Tony Bellew, and they were standing right next to each other. And I remember like several months later, Tony Bellew said that, because back then Tony Bellew wanted to fight Deontay Wilder. This was back in 2017. He was calling him out. He was like, yo, let's fight. But then months later, Tony Bellew revealed that he said that when he met Deontay Wilder in that Joshua versus Vladimir Klitschko fight, when they confronted each other, and he saw how big Deontay Wilder was, he said he knew he was not gonna fight. He was never gonna fight Deontay Wilder because it's like he saw how big Wilder was, and he was like, this is not. He wouldn't have no advantages. Wilder has all the advantages. He's way too big, and you know Tony Bellew's like 6'2", 6'3". He's the guy who turned pro at light heavyweight and who fought at cruiserweight. Wilder's 6'7". So obviously he's like 4.5 inches bigger than in terms of height. In terms of weight, maybe they weigh the same because Tony Bellew is, because you know Deontay Wilder's always been a very light heavyweight. You know, he's always been a guy who walks around at 215, 220. But he basically admitted there that he was never gonna fight Tony Bellew. You know, he was never gonna. He was never gonna fight Deontay Wilder. But now Deontay Wilder's pissed off at Tony Bellew and he wants to fight him. He wants to face Tony Bellew. I don't think if that fight would happen. I mean, who would be interested in it? You know, I personally wouldn't really be that interested in it just because, you know, he lost to Usyk. And what does Wilder gain from beating Tony Bellew? A cruiserweight who just came off an ass whooping against Alexander Usyk. And, you know, a cruiserweight who's up there in age, you know, already. You know, like I said, he's like 36, 37 at this point. So he doesn't really gain anything. I think Deontay Wilder should just focus on, you know, beating Dominic Breazeau, and after he gets past Dominic Breazeau, trying to make the Anthony Joshua fight, because I don't think at this point people want to see. It would have been more interesting 2 years ago, because 2 years ago when Tony Bellew was looking good, 2 years ago Tony Bellew had just beaten, you know, that dude to win the I believe the WBC Cruiserweight Championship of the world. He was talking a lot of shit. He was calling out guys like, I think this was before he fought David Haye. He was talking a lot of shit. It would have been more interesting back then, but like I said, now, you know, he's coming off a loss and he's retired now, so I really wouldn't want to see him in there against Deontay Wilder. What do you guys think of this though, of Tony Bellew versus Deontay Wilder, or Deontay Wilder saying he'll go down to fight Tony Bellew? I mean, if Deontay Wilder were to fight a cruiserweight, I would want to see him fight Alexander Usyk, because Alexander Usyk is the man. Like, I would give Deontay Wilder credit for fighting Alexander Usyk 100%, because Alexander Usyk is the best cruiserweight, you know, at the moment. So I would give him credit for fighting Usyk. I would rather see that than you know, I would rather see Deontay Wilder go down and wait and fight Usyk, or Usyk go up and wait and fight Deontay Wilder, than him fight a, you know, over the hill retired Tony Bellew. Let me know what you guys think of this. And I'm out, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, guys, like always. Bye bye.